I think why PKSB is really special is we always like to think of ourselves as architects who believe in a humanistic architecture. An architecture that's not pure design, that's not pure function, but an architecture that really gets to the human use of the space.
The tagline, inspired architecture for people, really I think summarizes what this firm has been about from the very beginning. Very, very high quality, exciting buildings, something that will engage people. It's not something that's for a corporate entity making their big statement to the world. These are buildings that are meant to be lived in, used, learned in, and they're exciting.
The nature of design at PKSB is to create a sense of place. And in some cases it's sacred places. In others it's public and it's civic. But they all have a consistent thematic sense of being part of a collective, part of something bigger.
We like to make inspirational spaces for people, where it inspires them to do what they have to do in that space. If it's prayer, if it's social meeting, if it's educational. In Allen Stevenson, it's a school that's catering to the whole boy. And the whole boy, what that means is a school that recognizes that music and art and theater is as important as math, that the library is as important as the classroom, and that the hallways are as important as anything else.
One of the things that I learned is that the school is people, not buildings. And the role of the buildings is to support the people in what they do, how they come together, how they work with each other. And we needed people who would understand that intuitively.
In the entry space, we emphasize that this is your front yard, this is your piazza, your public space. And as a result, every move we made in there was very carefully thought out. If you look at the floor, you'll see the school's goals embedded in the terrazzo floor. As well, right off it is the music room and the theater. And this is very important to them, it was very important to us to express that this is an important part of the school.
One thing that doesn't really change so much is the development of children. And if you have space where you can educate in a variety of ways, then what you often find is that you can use your imagination and your ingenuity in ways that you didn't anticipate.
Good morning. I love that complete sentence. Good morning, Julie.
A good school should promote the curriculum within the facility, within the design, whether it be in a spontaneous interaction within the hallway, or a reading room, or a resource room, but it should promote spontaneity or allow for students to develop their own interaction.
Numbers.
One of the things that this space will have us do is facilitate some of what is in our mission and our vision, which is to make our students 21st century learners. So where else better to put them than in a 21st century building?
Rhoda Schoen is one of those grand, historic New York congregations that began in 1842. And when you're creating a space in an established synagogue with a committee of people that have a lot of love for an institution and all have their own ideas, a good architect comes in with his own or her own great vision. So you have to constantly balance all of that and produce a product everybody feels good about. Not easy.
When we work for institutions, you have all these different groups that are vying for space, vying for attention, and it is our job to moderate that and determine which it is that will really serve the institution best, and not just the individual.
In a prayer experience, you want to feel the sense of awe, and on the other hand, you want people to walk in and feel a place that's really their home. So that was very much on our minds when we created this chapel.
Welcome to the crossroads of the world.
We are here to celebrate an incredible redesign that's turned this plaza into a world-class space.
I'm so proud to be here today to welcome this beautiful new structure in Times Square.
To have this kind of public space is really important. People can come, they can sit down. The view from where I'm sitting, this is the best view in the city.
We've always had an image of architecture that is beyond its use, if you will.
I think one of the things that's sort of interesting is it is not work like some of the sort of really famous celebrity architects that sort of says, look at me. It's not trying to be high fashion. It's making a framework for life.
They were a pleasure to work with. I enjoyed the back and forth in terms of being able to exchange ideas about how we could accomplish a result. Any organization that needed to solve a space problem would do well to look at PKSB.
I think at the end of the day, people were very pleased with not only the final result, but the relationship that developed.
Throughout our history, we've done projects of tremendous diversity in scale and project type. And we've learned from one another. From one project, you learn from the next.
10, 9, 8.
At this point in time, I feel confident we can pretty much do anything.
2, 1.